Hello guys and welcome back. So today we are going to talk about a few posts that I've selected and will this happen on the market? Will what we currently see in the first post I have selected, will this happen or something like this? And I've selected a few posts and we are going to go through them and try to reach a conclusion and maybe see will this happen or not, and let's try to predict it. I hope it will not take me too long to get through them. So let's go ahead and see. So the first post is JP Morgan to liquidate how many, god damn it, how many zeros are there? So is that billion? I think yeah, it should be billion. Wait, millions, billions, yeah. So those are cents. I don't know why are they here. 165 billion of US stocks on Monday. So if we know the news, I'm a bit of a skeptic, and I would say it will not happen. But maybe this guy and a few other guys know something that I don't, and we don't. So I will still be a skeptic until now because I don't. I've learned not to trust so easily on the market and on the markets in general. When it's about money, you shouldn't. I mean, you should be skeptical. Sometimes you should be opportunistic, but if you have money to lose, you should just jump in. If you don't, then be more skeptical and careful. So, why should this happen? I think it would be. Let's see the comments. Figure is on recent JP Morgan research note estimating potential equity selling across multiple large institutional investors. So this guy is saying that this is not, it's just a fake news, or it's a maximum that they can sell from research. So glad you talk crap. So those guys are skeptic in the comment section. Now let's go to the next post, which is from Coin Bureau, and also says 165 billion forced selling to hit the market by June the 38th. So this guy is saying on Monday, and those guys, which I used to watch them until they blew it up a few times, and I stopped trusting them a while ago, and sometimes they're in the right, but usually they are not. So I keep staying skeptical about this. So let's see the price of Bitcoin right now. So we are on the 28th now, as I'm filming this, and as you can see, yeah, we are still in this range between 60 and 65. I mean, it was 66 here, but about this and in the range. So no big move right now. Maybe we are going to see the double bottom I was talking about, but we still have to wait and see. So let's go to the next post. The biggest IPO in history has one ugly thing in common with every market top. This is not a theory. It happened for 100 years. Goldman Sachs 1928, Intel 1971, AT&T in 2000. Everyone looked like the opportunity of a lifetime. Everyone came at near a major market top. Everyone was followed by a brutal correction. Funny how the biggest once in a generation IPOs always show up when the market is already overheated. However, in my opinion, the crypto market is not overheated at all, and it's quite cold, especially if you look on the alts. I mean, Bitcoin is still above 60k, and I mean, for Bitcoin it's not a problem. However, for the other alts, like not just the alts, Ethereum as well, some take it as an altcoin, some don't. So let's talk about Ethereum a little bit. 1,700, which is a decent price. It's not like it's in a deep crash or something. And Solana at 71 is down, but the smaller caps, the mid caps are down badly. XRP held quite decently. First time when I bought it at 17, 18 and 19 cents in 2020. I think in about February, in March or April, something like this. And it's double the price since before the US election, and it's there. And it was way more, but anyway, it's still above the last bear market. So let's look further down. ADA, it's kind of dead, and Link, it's kept some decent price. I would buy a little bit, and I wouldn't expect too much upside. However, it's a good price. But there are other coins further down the road that are a disaster. Let's look at Polkadot, for example. So it was one quote-unquote influencer who said, oh, you won't catch it under $4. It's a huge opportunity to buy it at 350, 370 when before the small half old seasons. So let's keep reading some other posts. So we are here at the next one. Something extremely bad is coming this Monday. This is from Weimar, and I think he was right a few more times than other posters on X. So he's giving us some other type of reason, which I tend to trust a bit more than the previous guys. The US-Iran peace deal is close to collapsing, which it's a very good point. And I would say that's gonna keep us in limbo. It's going to keep us in range, but it's not going to collapse the stocks, and maybe the stocks a little bit, but it won't be as disastrous as other reasons. Fed rate hikes in 2026 are now confirmed. This is a very bad decision, and this might lead to a crash. I think that would be the only, and not the only, the main reason. And the second reason would be this one. However, let's go deep in prediction theories and stuff like this. And if these two things happen, which probably will, and even this one will, it might happen, but I don't think that will have as much of an impact on the crypto and on the stock market as those two. That's more of it's just louder, it's just more noisy. So those two things are the real problem. So I think that the Fed rate hikes will be the number one problem, which will be followed by those problems, which is China, Japan, and Turkey are dumping US treasuries. This is bad for the US. And if this will happen, they will probably lower the rates, the interest rates. So, and this is my theory. I just made it up. So I mean, from my own logic, they would cut the rates abruptly if the dollar will suffer from this. So let's see. Let's read the post. It is a full macro stress setup hitting from every direction. Of course, it will just take until the spring as usual to see some alt season or half season or something like this. When markets open on Monday, this will not be just another dip. Smart money is already sees it. They are cutting risk, moving into cash, and preparing for a major risk of move. There are only three ways this goes. Light shock, markets panic first. Bonds get stressed, oil pumps, and risk stabilizes if headlines calm down fast. Heavier scenario, the peace deal collapses and markets pricing a real war risk. Worst case, diplomacy fully breaks, oil pumps. I wouldn't go for the worst case. So this is a real danger when diplomacy breaks. I think even if diplomacy breaks, it's not going to have as much of an impact on the market. I think the rates are the first problem, and dumping of US treasuries will be the second problem. However, the dumping of the US treasuries will lead to the Fed cutting rates in the future. However, it will take a few months, and I think this time will be very good for accumulation, and we will have some sort of alt season. I don't know how big in the spring or in the winter. And yeah, I'm waiting for the midterms, and I think until the midterms we will have accumulation period. Maybe some of you don't want to hear that, don't have the patience, but if you think long term, this is an opportunity to accumulate if you have money. If you don't have money, that's kind of bad, because right now I'm in the same spot. I'm all in, and I'm using my salary to DCA some stuff. And yeah, we'll see. I'm planning to build up my portfolio in a few years, in maybe 1 or 2 years, to have a better strategy. But you cannot have a very good strategy if you don't have cash, basically. So let's go to the next post, which is from Tracer, DeFi Tracer. The Strait of Hormuz just hit its highest traffic since April. Millions of barrels will surge into the market soon. Oil prices just dumped to $75 per barrel and going lower. This might sound like a positive news, and it might also be one. However, Israel is conducting massive airstrikes across southern Lebanon this morning. So 16 people have already been killed, despite the US claiming attacks would stop due to the new ceasefire. So I see this either pushing Iran and the US back in a limbo, and also the market, either something that I don't really think would happen, for the US to dump Israel. Anyway, I think the market will be in this range for a while, for a few months. But yeah, this might, I mean, it will have one of two results. Either US will ditch Israel and say, well, you broke the ceasefire, you are on your own, or something like that. Either they will keep going with the circus, with the fighting with Iran. And I also heard Iran is going to put some sort of toll on the ships crossing the strait. So yeah, it's still going to be a lot of circus. I don't believe that the circus will end until the midterms. And yeah, I'm really curious about the Fed rate cuts, what will happen. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Give me your ideas, your opinions, and let's discuss it further. And hope for the best, prepare for the worst. See you with the next one.